Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I think I just wanted to remind you, the last time Trump was president, you know, before all the corruption began, May 10th, 2017, look who was in second place on the coin market cap list. This is before all the corruption right here. It wasn't Ethereum, it was XRP. Good little reminder. Now, check this out. This whole Gary Gensler saga is getting very interesting now. I am thoroughly, and I do mean thoroughly, enjoying it. This guy is out one way or another. This guy is finished, and it couldn't have happened to a better person. Eleanor Terrett, Scoop, SEC Commissioner Mark Ayeda backs Trump's plan to end crypto crackdown. Ayeda will likely be Trump's acting SEC chair. Says one path forward would be to pause new enforcement actions against firms that have failed to register. I mean, this is freaking awesome. Then Stuart Alderati came in with this. He's talking about John Reed Stark. John, a staunch SEC supporter, has the class to say the people have spoken. Gensler and his anti-crypto minions should voluntarily stand down, whereas John explains the SEC's new chair, when appointed, will use the agency's internal mechanisms to remove them. Either way, it's over. And this is the tweet from John Stark. He apparently did like a spaces. It says, FYI, stick a fork in the SEC, it's done. And then Jeremy Hogan had a recording of his spaces, I guess. Check this out.
Now the enforcement director says this time, okay, tell me what's in litigation. So you sit down in all the active litigations. Now what do you do? What do you do about a case that the SEC has filed, like one against Coinbase that's been very aggressively defended, and you're the director and you no longer share the view that they're acting as an unlawful broker-dealer or an unlawful clearing firm, an unlawful exchange, that they're failing to register. In fact, you think, hey, the law's not clear enough, I don't want to bring these cases anymore, and you're enforcement director. Well, there's a bunch of options. You can tell the head of litigation, there's a head of litigation that works for you when you become enforcement director. And chances are, again, that if this person's head of litigation, there's someone that you want as head of litigation. Maybe they're the civil servant who's been there forever and they haven't left. And you start to make their lives miserable because you call them every day and you say, I want you to do this, this, and this, and they stop doing it. You put them on a performance improvement plan. Things can go really south if the head of litigation stops doing what the enforcement director wants them to do. So the enforcement director might sit down with the head of litigation and say, hey, I want you to dismiss all of these cases or try to work out a settlement and finish them. I don't believe in these cases anymore. And at that point, whoever the litigators are that are working the case might say they object to that, but the enforcement director says, this is what I want you to do. And you need to go to the commission for permission. And so you go to the commissioners, just like I said before, with an action memorandum that says, we want to dismiss these 5 cases and we want to settle these other 10 for this. And you get in front of those 5 commissioners, the new chair, the 2 Republican appointees, Mark Uyeda and Hester Peirce, and the 2 Democratic ones. And what you've also done is you've talked to their legal assistant.
Okay, Jeremy Hogan weighs in. So what happens to the Ripple versus SEC and Coinbase case next year? Well, I wasn't sure about the nuts and bolts of it. Also, I listened to this space. One, Gensler, well, you already heard what they said about that. The second is his thoughts on specific actions. Ripple case or any case with a ruling will be settled for a judgment amount, $125 million. It would be awkward to settle for less than that since it was already awarded by the court. 5, the Coinbase and other cases in litigation will simply be dismissed. This will take some time, not January, but perhaps before summer. That's my call and I'm sticking to it. Excuse me. So check this out. This is from Fruition Productions that's doing XRP Unleashed. They're talking here about how they went to the American film market, and the mainstream people don't know what XRP is yet. And so they're talking about doing a name change to open it up to a broader audience. We're considering an alternative title for the documentary to highlight the SEC's corruption so we can reach those who don't know what XRP is yet. We're considering the title Rigged, Exposing the SEC's War on Crypto. I like it. Wanted to give it Kamala. She spent the last month calling Trump Hitler over and over and over. And then this is, and I don't have to play it, but this is Vladimir Putin saying that he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war in the Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. And I told Kamala, FYI, Hitler did not end wars, he started them. Look, isn't it amazing? Election, Rush Limbaugh used to say elections have consequences. Well, the consequence looks like all of a sudden these leaders, now that they see, these leaders around the world, now that they see strength, they're wanting to be partners with the U.S. instead of being adversaries.
We are not abandoning dollar in Russia. They simply refuses to allow to use dollar as a settlement tool. Well, even so, I think if we are denied that, it's so foolish of the U.S. authorities, because the dollar is the pillar of U.S. power, and they're undoing it by their own hand. I thought that whatever happens, dollar is like a sacred cow. It should not be touched. It's in discontinuation. The udder is dirty. They got rid of the horns. Well, they're to blame on their own. The payments in dollars are decreasing. Not too much as of yet, but as means of savings, it's going down step by step, very gradually. It's shrinking, but it's a trend.
Okay, so there's that. And then Brad Garlinghouse, check this out. If you needed even clearer evidence that the crypto voter is alive and well, here it is in the data. I hope the Dems find a way to hold Gary Gensler accountable for ignoring the law. And then this is Meta Lawman. This is pretty amazing. John Deaton lost to Senator Warren, but she only won by 19.2%. And she's an entrenched, a majorly entrenched incumbent. But I take away something different than even Brad Garlinghouse said here, and that is John Deaton got this. He had the support of some of crypto, but he didn't have the support of 3/4 of crypto. And I think it's because a lot of them were mad about him uncovering ETHgate, but it was a solid 3/4. There were billions of dollars, and there were also major media outlets that would not have him on. And if they had, it would have sealed the deal. I believe there were forces in play that didn't want John Deaton to have that office because they couldn't control him. Or were worried that they couldn't control what he was going to do. Brad Garlinghouse, I've shared some thoughts on what the Trump administration could mean for crypto, and wanted to also recognize the XRP family's patience and unwavering support. A lot has happened since XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. It's been at times a frustrating journey. 6 years since the SEC started meddling in the crypto market, picking winners and losers. 4 years since the SEC sued Ripple. And now finally we see a light at the end of the tunnel as these external, frankly unnatural and manipulative market factors fade. The tides are shifting. Headwinds are turning into tailwinds, and the opportunity for those of us who believe in the future for XRP is enormous. I remember not more than a month ago, you had people, like major people, multiple major people in the XRP community. Oh, XRP's done. It's just not a serious thing anymore. And I remember seeing it and going, man, how can you possibly be in this for this long and still you don't understand what you hold? You still don't get it. Blows my mind. Now, as I'm thinking of them, especially the ones related to crypto, I'm trying to bring these to the attention of Donald Trump and his people now. Are you guys going to look into the Democrat Ukraine money laundering operation through FTX? Why did Sam Bankman-Fried's parents not get prosecuted? Here's the web. Gary Gensler is in it, by the way. Remember when Maxine Waters blew a kiss to Sam Bankman-Fried? Needs to be looked into. And then there's this. Check this out. You want to see how much Trump's about to shake the system up?
Hey, Victoria Guido with Politico. Some of the president-elect's advisors have suggested that you should resign. If he asked you to leave, would you go?
No.
Can you follow up on, do you think that legally you're not required to leave?
No.
Hi,
Okay.
Victoria.
Well, Elon Musk weighs in on this. The executive branch should be under the direction of the president. That's how the Constitution was designed. The Federal Reserve is one of the many examples of how we've deviated from the Constitution in that regard. Yet another reason why we should end the Fed. Hashtag end the Fed. Elon Musk, who is going to, at a minimum, be an advisor to President Trump, says 100%. How about them apples? All right, when we go into DAI XRP, I mean, this is like, it reminds me of the movie, it reminds me of the end of the movie The Lion King. The bad guys had taken over, the evil Lion King had taken over, and then at the end, he's finally defeated, and all the land had become, there had become no sunshine, and it was dark, and there was no leaves on the trees, and the whole land had been swallowed up by evil. And then at the end, when the good guys win, all of a sudden the sun comes out and the birds are flying and the leaves are on the trees. Sunlight. That's what it feels like right now. And let me tell you what, if you ever doubted whether Trump and his people were going to get justice against all these people who have committed anything from treason to you name it, it's not an option to not go after them, folks. It's not an option to not hold them accountable for what they've done, because they literally tried to destroy this country from within. And they had a long-term plan to do it. I'm going to show you some of the things that are being done right now that will blow your mind. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.